What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Just posted a quick video out today. Going to be going over how much the car has costed total. So it's going to be initial cost, like the findings from after I bought the car, rust restoration, subframe restoration, window seals, powder coat, everything. I'm going to be going over in this video. I'm not making this video to brag. It's just helpful to people that maybe have a car in similar condition and want to get the same stuff done. I wish I would have seen a video like this prior, then I could know what to save up for and kind of be able to restore the car and have the money to do so up front. Some things came out to be like a shocker. Some things are just unexpected costs, which I'll go over. So yeah, without further ado, let's hop on the computer.
Alright, so here we go. So this is the Excel spreadsheet that I made. It contains all of the expenses as I go. I might have missed some things. There's some like nut and bolt type stuff that you just can't, it's hard to track. So back 3 years ago bought this car for $11,000 on the spot. $11,000 is a pretty good price for R32 GTR, especially this is a 2300 series, one of the first 2300 to roll off the line. So it's a really early model, and the body showed that, and it's been abused its whole life. So bought it 3 years ago when I was down in Italy. Lived there before here. Didn't really take a good look at the car, mainly because if you're buying it for 11 grand, you're not going to be picky, I wanted this car to be something I learned on, something I grew on, and it's been just that. I've learned a lot from this car. So moving on, first thing that went out was the clutch. Did a couple hard launches, and it said no more. And I hate buying things twice, so I just went ahead and bought the Nismo Super Copper Mix twin disc clutch. That was about $1,600 US coming from Japan. Great clutch, highly recommend if you're out there for a clutch. If you're less than 600 horsepower, get this clutch. It's like stock field, but it has incredible grabbing powers. Next up is so this is a good story actually. So did a clutch, and then shortly after I was ripping, and all of a sudden I lost power. Pulled off, shooting some black smoke, sounded terrible. Put it back to my place and check it all out. And it took me a lot of digging to figure out what was going on. I found out I blew an intercooler pipe, put that back on, still running rough. So checked maps, a couple maps were bad. I don't know what's going on. Ended up, CAS was bad, but I found all this out after some people put a bug in my ear saying, oh, the engine's probably bad. So ended up pulling the engine, do just a basic refresh, Tomei metal head gasket, Tomei intake and exhaust gaskets. I didn't add the turbos. I changed the turbos to GT28. There you go. So those are about $1,000, but GT28 60-5s. Highly recommend. Good turbos. But ended up doing ARP head studs, all OEM gaskets from Nissan, besides the metal head gasket and intake and exhaust. Turbos, threw it all back together, still had the same problems. Ended up, those sensors were bad. Everything was just going bad. Buddy was selling his Platinum Pro at the time because he was upgrading to a 2500. So next up on the list was the ECU. I know they go new for about $1,600. He was pretty stingent about his price, so I ended up paying $1,600 for that. Didn't hook me up, but it is what it is. Coming along with that ECU is the tune. Had a buddy come down from Germany, and he tuned it for me for about $500. After that, the car was solid. It was running good, sounding good, everything was good besides the body, which is coming up. So around this time is when I moved to Germany, and that was when it was time to start getting serious on the restoration. So for that, money was super strict. I was saving up. I was doing all that I could to save money in the long run, which means putting in the work. So around this time is when I started putting on jack stands, stripping the undercoating, because the undercoating is one of the most time-consuming processes of an underbody work. You take a few days on it at least. At an actual shop, it took me probably a month to do it, just because it's laying underneath jack stands. It's not the most fun. Um, so that saved me a couple grand. So if you getting this done, do that yourself. So the metal work and the undercoating process was 6,300 US or 4,600 British pounds. I'll pull up the estimate, and this is the final estimate, so nothing changed from this point on. So you can see how long for each process. They ended up probably going over on quite a few things in my favor, but they put in a lot of work on it. So it goes down. Yeah, so it was about 500 pound over budget, I think, which isn't bad. If you have seen my previous videos or my Instagram, all things GTR, you will know how bad the rust actually was. It's really hard to say, there's probably been no other GTR restored that's been that bad. At least I haven't seen one, nobody's published one, but it was very bad. So once that was all complete, I trailered it up to Germany, or trailered it up to the UK from Germany. Not a terrible trip, it's just a long haul. But after that, I got it back and I instantly went into the subframe. I mean, it got back that weekend, it was on jack stands, the subframe was out, the subframe was torn apart, and it was off the powder coat, along with some crash bars, some miscellaneous underside stuff, but the subframe was the biggest part so the powder coat, and then you got diff bushings, subframe bushings, white line subframe bushings, Super Pro diff bushings. And then you move into the nuts and bolts. I got a nut and bolt set from, what's the company called? SR Auto Bodies in the UK. They do great work on R and S chassis. They supplied a GTR reverse subframe kit. That was about 110 US probably. But Allen head bolts, all zinc plated, brand new, looks great. Miscellaneous nuts and bolts underneath. Go into Drift Pro, Hikest Elite kit, Driftworks, camber arms, and all that. So ended up totaling about 1,300 US. Not terrible. Wheels, they came on the car. They're Advan RG1 or 2s. I can't remember. So no price there. Only price was getting them restored. They were in really bad condition. The aluminum was really corroded. Got them powder coated in matte bronze compared to the original white. I think they came out great, but I do like the white. I may go back to it eventually just for that OG look. Tires about 700 US. They're the Yokohama 808 RSs. Okay, so these are the parts for Nissan orders. So this number one order is going to be. Let's pull it up. So this is grill clips, because the front grill clips were bad. We got the fuel tank retainer hat, the plastic piece that everyone fucks up. Oh, and the O-ring. Then you got the left weather strip retainer. These are the expensive ones. The right weather strip container. See, $210 US. So these are going for $600, $700, $800 from Right Hand Drive Japan. Stop paying those prices. You're sleeping, go to this place. Interior door handles, they gray very easily, 25 bucks, cheap. Weather strip kit. This comes with absolutely everything, left and right. If you watch my previous video, you'll know what's up. It covers everything. Shipping, $110, just because those weather strips are so big. Inside handle bezel, these are the ones that go behind the actual handles. Spring harness clips, these are that hold the injectors in. I was missing them. So total was $965 US. not too bad for what I got for it. Order number two, 435. That is going into, we're starting to get into nitty gritty type stuff. This is towards the end of the roads. Crossover pipe gasket and gasket. These are the twin turbo pipe gaskets and the downpipe gaskets. Got them straight from Nissan. Those are the best ones. Console shift boost, $74, easy. Twin turbo engine emblem, R34 emblem. These are the front cover bolts for the timing cover grommet for the washers for that. And then the rocker cover molding kit. These plastic clips are getting so expensive, but $95. I ended up buying more in the next order just because I broke a few. RIP, shipping $20. The Nissan truck emblem looks great. GT fender emblem. Those are discontinued now, so buy them if you need them. Door trim panel grommet. What is that? Door trim panel. I think it's just some screws that I needed. Rocker molding screw. Again, I think these are just some underbody screws that I needed. Ended up being $435 US. Ain't bad. Last order, $433. This is really nitty gritty. Again, screws, seat bolts because a couple of mine are stripped out. Left and right turn signal lamps just because one of mine was cracked. $100, but I can't beat it really. Headlight switch. See, a headlight switch is more expensive than the damn turn signals. GTR hood emblem. AC dash vent, $53. Clip. These are the ones I broke. See that? Look at those prices. That's more expensive than a lot of the other stuff. Mudguard screws. Those are for the front fender liners. So, with that being said, the total that I've spent restoring this car been $27,083 US. That's including the original purchase price. So all in all, you could be buying a $30,000 mint GTR, but in my opinion, you're not going to appreciate it nearly as much as after you put in all the work and hours and learning on a car like I have to this one. I know every single nut and bolt, whichever one goes, just because I've been there, done that, and yada yada. It's been a great experience in my opinion. I mean, it's split. You could be buying a $30,000 mint GTR, or you could be making a mint GTR that somebody else might have just trashed. If somebody else would have got their hands on this car, it would have ended up in a dump. I'm glad I saved it. It just costed me probably more than it should have. With that being said, it's not done. I still need to do a lot of exterior stuff, meaning respray, side skirt work, getting rid of a bunch of the silicone that was previously used on the rear bumper. So window molding kits and whatnot. There's still some rust around the rear window, so I need to get that fixed. But that's going to come along with the respray. It's just not going to happen here. It'll happen soon, just not currently. Give it a few months.
So hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully that kind of explains how much you'd expect to be spending when you get into a car like this. Just make sure you're double checking rust condition and all that before you buy a car, because like this, it can just have some hidden treasures all around. So that's my biggest pointer is verify condition. See if you're ready to kind of take on a project like this, because if you're not cool with your car being down for 2 years, then it's not a project for you. Unless you got the funds to just hammer it out. And I'd say don't be scared of getting into a project like this, because it's been really fun. Yeah, I haven't been able to drive the car as much as I'd like, but in the end, I think in the end, it's worth it, well worth it, because it's just a feeling of accomplishment. You're driving it around knowing you built it. At the same time, it makes you pretty nervous because anything can happen. I did have my a little scare the first time I took it out. One of the half moons in the back of the head dumped oil on the exhaust and had a little smoke show. But other than that, the car's been driving great. Next video will be Autobahn runs, so stay tuned for that. Gonna be joining up with a fellow videographer so I can get some sick rolling clips. So yeah, stay tuned. Thank y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.